Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Academic Center for Tutoring Training Proposal. My name is Matt Paproth. You can see me there on this image of everyone from our design team here at We Design. Everyone who you see here will be rotating through here and covering a different section of the ADDIE process. On the next screen, you'll see the different parts of that process. I tried to move my head there so you could see the development summary, but I will be walking you through this introduction and then the analysis summary before turning things over to my colleague, Sam, who will discuss the design brief. So I'll move fairly quickly through the analysis summary as anyone viewing this is likely to have viewed the longer version of our analysis summary, which we sent you over a couple of weeks ago, but there are some important kind of background and overview things here in this analysis summary that we'll want to make sure that we'll kind of lay the groundwork for the stuff covered in the later part of the presentation by my colleagues. So these are the four things that I will cover over the next 5 or 6 minutes. I'll begin by discussing the performance assessment and the sort of the performance gap that we are attempting to close through these processes. Then our general purpose statement, sort of a thesis statement for what we're doing here. Then a list of our instructional goals, so the goals that we have for the tutors and mentors who will be taking this training course. And then finally, a little learner analysis diagram to just give some background information about those participants. So the performance assessment we'll begin with here first. Here you can see the results of a survey that gives some information about the mentors and tutors' background. So this is their actual performance. So you can see here the numbers of respondents who feel that they are able to do these things that we would like them to do. It never really goes above 30%. The highest is that they have 27%. Have some knowledge of helping learning support students cope with anxiety and stress. That those numbers go as low as 11% who feel that they can really empathize with or share some of the problems experienced by those students. So we obviously would like that to be higher, and that is really the kind of driving goal of what we're doing here. If you look at the next slide, is the desired performance, and our training plan will prepare the mentors and tutors to identify the learning support student issues in the math courses, help them analyze their math problems using content-specific strategies, apply best practices and strategies to help those students with college readiness skills, use active listening skills, and apply effective evidence-based mentoring practices and strategies when working with their learning support students. Our purpose statement, again, sort of this is for the whole process here. The online training course is designed to improve CSU tutors and mentors' knowledge and skills to effectively identify, comprehend, and apply best tutoring and mentoring practices to assist and guide learning support freshman students enrolled in Math Gateway courses. Apologies for reading directly off of the slide, but it is the sort of driving undergirding statement for everything that we're presenting here today. So I wanted to make sure that we have had that on the record. Here, I will not read every one of these instructional goals, but feel free to pause this presentation if you want to really take a minute and read through these. You'll see a lot of those same phrases that have appeared in the past 2 slides. You'll see phrases like active listening skills, communication skills, empathy is an idea that's sort of embedded in this. And then in the second half of that list, you can see a bunch of math-specific skills and goals for the tutors and mentors to get out of this process. Finally, here over these next 2 slides, we have the learner analysis diagram, which gives us a sense of this pool of tutors and mentors that we are looking at. So the average age is 20, that there's a fair split between African American and white participants with a few of other ethnicities. Skills that they already have, the ability to use the LMS that is used at CSU, the general background and experience, that fact that usually there are 20 to 25 tutors working there at any given time, and that there is a fair amount of turnover, of a year or so, that most of the tutors end up working there. Finally, for me at least, the attitude of the tutors and mentors who will be entering into this training. And here you can see that, more than half, just barely more than half, are interested in this program and are, you can assume will sort of come into it like quite excited and enthusiastic about doing it. 10%, are neutral, so you can assume you'll have them on board fairly easily. And then about 40% were reluctant to commit to a training program. And you can see the reasons in the lower right for this reluctance. They include a lack of knowledge, skills, and motivation. The reasons include, they're just busy, and family responsibilities. Everyone has so much going on in their lives right now. So, you'll be working with some people who are reluctant to commit to this. So that's something that you definitely want to be aware of, before we're diving into this process. So that is all that I've got. I'm going to turn things over to my colleague, Sam, who will pick things back up in a second here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Samantha Warren, and I will be presenting on the design brief. For this section, we have 6 revised performance goals. A few of those goals, for remember, I want to identify the best practices and guidelines when we are mentoring and tutoring learning support freshman students. We would want to analyze and break down the math problem into smaller components so that we could have them create in the create section to solve a math problem. To meet these performance goals, we would start with a prerequisite, many of which would then build into a subtask. And then they would build on the task to complete, which would help us meet our performance goal. For our performance objectives, there are 6 levels that we are reaching for. In each level, we have a task, a condition, and criteria. For example, for comprehension, the task completing that we would want to complete would be comparing the academic data of learning support students between each semester, with a condition of organizing past academic and usage of tutoring data, and we would complete this criteria through compiling past academic GPA and grades and tutoring data obtained from the research office. Continuing on with our performance goals, another example would be in the synthesis performance level, the task completed would be testing the strategies to solve the math problem. The condition for this would be applying the strategies in the resources through the criteria of practicing the math problem in the resources. With this, we have testing methods of how we would reach these goals with the task, objective, and test item that we would put forward. For example, for a task would be to recall the appropriate strategies on tutoring and mentoring in the guide. Objective would be to decide the relevant tutoring and mentoring strategies in the guide to be used in a given situation or scenario. And for the actual test items, most of them include real-world scenarios where we are working through something either with the tutoring or the mentoring part to meet these criteria. So we have 5 tasks or test items in addition that would help us meet these goals. Overall, we have also broken down each phase for a spending plan and an overall cost of this plan. For the analysis phase, there are licenses that we would have to purchase. For example, the Zoom licenses we would need for all phases in order to communicate through the program. This is a $150 cost per license, and we would need 10 licenses. With additional licenses, overall, the analysis phase would cost $1,500. Design phase would come to a total of $1,600, and this is because we are having to have subject matter experts carry through and help us out and pay them hourly. And the development phase, again, has some personnel and facilitators coming in to help with the program. This would come to a total of $1,400. And in the implementation phase, which is a little bit more costly, being $4,500 compared to the previous three mentioned. But there are training facilitators, tutors, and mentors, and much more personnel that are being paid at an hourly rate. And lastly, in the ADDIE design, with the evaluation phase, this comes to $3,000, where we have an external evaluator who is receiving 4% of their salary, coming to a total of $3,000. There are additional campus resources that we will be using who are not paid through the program because they are being paid by the campus, and those have also been listed. Overall, the ADDIE plan and the detailed spending that we would put forward would be $12,000.
Hey everyone, my name is Lyric Mays, and I'll be presenting the development summary of our project. So for the development summary, we thought about instructional strategies, and we did two different sets of instructional strategies because we have two different types of participants. So our first type of participant is the mentors. So we'll be having trainings for the mentors and also the tutors. So we have two different sets of instructional strategies for one for mentors and one for tutors. So here's kind of a summary of what we thought about for our instructional strategies. This slide does not include everything, but it's a good little brief summary of our instructional strategies for mentors. So our objective for our instructional strategies for the mentors is to recognize the behavior traits that the mentor exhibits in their interaction with the student. So some of the content, some of the topics of content for these are traits of an effective mentor, responsibilities of a mentor, and then some case scenarios will be discussed as well. Guided practice for participants will be them identifying, assessing, composing the key traits and responsibilities in a mentor in case scenarios 1 and 2. So looking at some case scenarios there and thinking about the traits and responsibilities of the mentors. Similarly, in the independent practice, they will be breaking into small groups and reflecting, reviewing, and summarizing the key aspects of the case scenarios in 3 and 4, those case studies, 3 and 4. And then they'll receive some feedback by sharing with other groups and getting feedback from their peers, and then also getting feedback from the facilitator or instructor. And then the instructional strategies for the tutor. Here's a little summary, just a quick snapshot of some of the things in our instructional strategies plan for the tutor. The objective is to recognize the behavior traits that the tutor exhibits in their interaction with the student. The content, some of the topics of content are traits of an effective tutor, responsibilities of a tutor, and then also looking at some case scenarios in this one as well. So the guided practice would be participants identifying, assessing, composing the key traits and responsibilities in a tutor in case scenarios 1 and 2. And then the independent practice will be them also breaking into small groups. So very similar to what we have for the mentor. And then they'll also receive feedback from their peers and the teacher as well. So the summary of supporting media, we thought about the media that could be selected or developed to support the student, and 3 different types of media: visual, audio, and kinesthetic. So here's just a list of the media that we think would support the mentors and tutors that will be training. And then here's our supporting media part B, where we think about media that could be selected or developed to just support the type of learning. So we go through the different types of learning: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So here's just some media that can be used to support those different types of learning in our training. And then we also thought about some information guides, and we developed some information guides for the participants or the students of our training, and then also the facilitators, the people that will be carrying out and leading the trainings. So the information guide to the student just kind of outlines the details of the training and the activities that they will be expected to participate in and complete. So it just kind of goes through, what the training is about, what they'll learn from it, gives kind of an overview and talks about the different modules. And so it gives them kind of a flow of the training and what they should expect from the training. And then the information guide to the facilitator outlines the role of the facilitator. And then it gives them more information on how to properly facilitate the training. So just, tells them what their what the expectation is for the facilitators in the training. So those are the information guides for both the participant and the facilitator. And that's the end of our development summary portion of our presentation. I am Lyric Mays. Thank you for your time.
Hello, everyone. I am Kent, and I will be handling the I of the ADDIE process, starting off with the implementation strategy. We're going to start off breaking this down into 3 different components: the learner plan, the facilitator plan, and train the trainer. Starting off with the learner plan, we will focus on the learner group, the characteristics of that group, the numbers that we're planning on training, and the experience that we're expecting to have with that learner group. We're expecting them to be around the junior to senior level students as the tutor and mentors. We're looking for them to be about 20 years of age with a balanced aspect of ethnicities. We're looking to train 20 to 25 individuals, and we're looking for them to have about 4 to 12 months of experience. The schedule, the location of that, we're expecting it to be Zoom. We're going to do a 4-day starting on the 2nd week of July, given access to Cougar View Learning Management System 1 week prior to that training. We're going to notify them 3 weeks before the training, and we plan on tracking different aspects of that. One is the time spent reviewing the material, sessions attended, and assessments via summary report and exit survey. The facilitator plan, the facilitator ID, will be the individuals we're looking to have as the chosen facilitators will be composed of full-time, 2-year experience minimum, math, academic background. Experience as an instructor facilitator is ideal, and experience in tutoring, mentoring with learning support students would be the best. The training schedule for the facilitators will be 2 days in length in our Train the Trainer program online. It will start the 3rd week of June. There will be a 4-day training for the student mentors that will start in July. Prior to this, in May, the director of the CSU Center of Tutoring will review qualifications of facilitators and check on the staff availability and send out notifications to the chosen facilitators. During this time in May, there will be team meetings to address several different components as I outlined below. Week 1, the team will meet and develop the modules that will consist of prerequisites, definitions of the profile of LS students, and supplemental material. Week 2, the team will cover the overview of the module, grading rubrics, handbook for tutoring, and mentoring with PowerPoint slides. Audio, video lectures, and assessments will be developed as well. Week 3 and 4 will conclude the continuation of module development, review math, syllabi, math problem solving guides, and develop other supplemental material that are left to be developed. The 1st and 2nd week of June will be the time that is spent to prepare online course setup in Cougar View Learning Management System. In Train the Trainer schedule, pre-training sessions will be conducted. The 1st and 2nd day of pre-training sessions will focus on reviewing, practicing, and applying the training materials as detailed on this slide. The preparation slide, I would like to draw your attention to the purpose of the training sessions. It is to prepare and improve existing support for CSU freshman math students. The performance objectives listed below recall best strategies, comparing data of past with present, stressing coping strategies, and appraise problem-solving guides, effectiveness, and testing the strategies. The train the trainer agenda. Day one, the two course facilitators will give an overview of the process and outline the goals and objectives of the day. The day one agenda continuation, the two facilitators will share the qualifications and go over the guides for the learner and the facilitator. Day two, a quick review of day one will take place, and then the micro teaching sessions will take place utilizing case scenarios and math problem solving utilizing the guides provided. A review of the different media used in training will be conducted as well. And during the evaluation plan session, feedback will be given from the micro teaching sessions. Course administration for day two continuation will cover and review of the 4-day training session material. And the day two will conclude with details of posting grades in Cougar View and rubric used to the guides and students. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'll turn it over to Baru.
Thank you, Kent, for discussing the implementation strategy. The last step in the ADDIE process is the evaluation plan. In this section, information will be provided on the evaluation plan and instruments that will be utilized to assess the effectiveness and long-term impact of the online training session. The evaluation plan diagram presents the 5 levels of evaluation. The first level is perception. A survey will be administered by the course facilitator of the training program to assess the tutors and mentors' perception of the training session at the conclusion of the online training. The survey will assess the tutors and mentors' perception on the training session with regards to the presentation, structure, content, facilitators' knowledge and skills, Cougar View learning management system, and the technical issues associated with it, and the feedback to improve the training. The survey will be administered via Qualtrics platform. The tutors and mentors will provide the survey responses by highlighting the extent to which they agree or disagree with each statement in the survey. The responses will be anonymous. Level 2, learning. The course facilitator will provide case studies and quizzes during the training session to the tutors and mentors in order to assess their comprehension and knowledge of the training material. These graded assessments will be embedded within the Cougar View learning management system course shell. Tutors and mentors will participate in discussion boards, complete end-of-module quizzes, and analyze case studies. Level 3, performance. The Academic Center of Tutoring or ACT director will monitor live tutoring and mentoring sessions with the learning support students within ACT in order to assess the tutors and mentors' ability to apply the training material in the live sessions after they have completed the training program. The director will take notes to highlight the strengths and areas of improvement in the live sessions. Level 4, impact. The ACT director will verify the effectiveness of the training by administering a Qualtrics survey to the tutors and mentors 60 days after the main training session. The effectiveness of the training will be judged based on the tutors and mentors' ability to apply the concepts learned during the training session in the actual tutoring and mentoring sessions at ACT. The tutors and mentors will complete this survey by highlighting the extent to which they agree or disagree with each statement in the survey. All the responses will be anonymous. Level 5, return on investment. The ACT director will verify the benefits of the training sessions 60 days after the completion of the main training through the usage and degree work reports in Banner Student Management System. The purpose of Level 5 return on investment is to see the long-term intended benefits of the training program, as well as to conduct a cost-benefit analysis to assess the cost effectiveness of the training session. The usage and degree work reports will be reviewed by the ACT director to see the number of learning support students who participated in these tutoring and mentoring sessions to the number of students who have improved their performance in their math coursework and improved their learning management and self-management skills. This slide provides an overview of the evaluation instruments that will be used in the evaluation plan. There are 3 levels for the 3 instruments. The level 1 evaluation instrument is a survey that will assess the tutors and mentors' perceptions on the training session based on 5 different domains. Each survey item will be on a 6-point Likert scale ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The first domain is training structure, which contains questions on the structure, flow, and organization of the online course modules. The second domain is training content, which contains questions on the alignment of the training material to the instructional goals, the consistency and coherency of the material. The third domain is training facilitator, which contains questions on the knowledge, expertise, and skills of the facilitator to effectively conduct the training session. The fourth domain is training learning management system, which contains questions on the familiarity, interactivity, and accessibility features of Cougar View learning management system, which will have the online training modules. And the fifth domain is the technical issues in training, which contains questions on the quality of the online material within the training modules. In order to collect some qualitative responses, we have designed some open-ended questions within the survey. And these questions will help the tutors and mentors to provide qualitative responses to the changes they would recommend to improve the quality of the course content, the structure, and the learning management system features. The level 2 evaluation instrument will consist of objective questions to assess the tutors and mentors' knowledge of the training material and the information presented in the handbook. Each of the 4 training modules will contain a set of objective questions within an online quiz that is embedded in the training modules in Cougar View Learning Management System. The Level 3 evaluation instrument will test the tutors and mentors' skills to apply the knowledge gained from the training sessions to real-world case scenarios. An online discussion board will be used to record the open-ended responses of tutors and mentors, and they will also have the opportunity to respond to each other's posts. This completes our presentation of the proposal using the ADDIE process. Please feel free to reach us at the email address provided here in case you have any questions on our proposal. Thank you.